Marketing. If you're a builder, it's the job you'd hand off first, and for now, it's the one job you can't. The whole argument is one gap, built on one side, found on the other. So let's cross it together, honestly. Quick recall from last Friday. Tenet 4. The number you say is the number you live with. You decided it in the quiet, before the room. So the work is priced. Now the harder question, who actually finds it? Because Tenet 1 warned you about exactly this. The gates are real, and distribution is the biggest gate of all. This Friday is the solo answer to that gate. Every builder I know carries the same quiet plan. I'll build the thing, and marketing will be someone else's job. Future me, a co-founder, an agency, the algorithm. Then launch day. You push it live, you post the link, you refresh, and nothing. Not criticism. Criticism would at least be data. Silence. No signups, no replies, no traffic. And here's the trap. The reflex reads that silence as a product verdict. Needs one more feature, a cleaner landing page, another month of polish. But nobody rejected the product. Nobody saw it. You can build anything and still launch to total silence. Because building was never the last step. That's not a product problem. It's a distribution problem. And on a team of one, it has your name on it. Here's my version, redacted down to the lesson. For years, I treated marketing as beneath the work, the tax you pay after the real job, the things serious engineers didn't stoop to. So I did what the reflex says. I built. Better features, cleaner code, one more rewrite nobody asked for. And the bill for all that avoidance came due as silence. Good work in production that essentially nobody ever found. Not once, over and over. What finally changed wasn't confidence, and it wasn't a personality transplant. It was treating distribution the way I treat engineering. As a system, with inputs and outputs, something you design, run, and improve, not a mood you wait for. The day marketing became a system instead of a performance, it stopped being the job I avoided. It just became part of shipping. So put the whole problem on one chart because it's simpler than it feels. Two islands. On the left, built. The product exists, it works, you can prove it. On the right, found, where the people whose problem it solves actually are. And between them, a gap. Here's the fact the reflex hides. Nothing travels across that gap on its own. Not quality. Good products drown in silence every single day. Not the algorithm. It amplifies motion. It doesn't create it. Nobody buys what they can't find, and nobody finds what nobody carries across. The gap is a product too. The one nobody asked you to build. The one that doesn't ship itself. And on a solo team, there's exactly one person the closing falls to. So, the obvious move, hire it out. An agency, a freelancer, a growth person. Pay the professionals, get back to building. Here's why that fails early. And it's not because those people are bad at their jobs. It's because right now, the two things marketing actually runs on live only in your head. Why this product exists, the specific pain you saw that made it worth building, and who it's for, the real person, not the persona slide. An agency can amplify a voice. It cannot invent yours. Hand the job over before the voice exists, and what comes back is competent, generic noise. And at agency rates, that's one of the fastest ways a solo budget dies. Yet, is the honest word in this tenet. One day, someone can take it over, after you've built the thing they'd be scaling. So here's the survivable version, and it's smaller than you fear. You don't need a persona, a 30-slot content calendar, or a growth hack. You need a bridge. And a bridge is boring, repeated structure. One channel, wherever your people already are. Pick it, ignore the rest. One cadence, a rhythm you can hold on a bad week, because the cadence is the bridge. Every rep is one more plank. And one kind of material, real work shared plainly. The decision you made, the number you measured, the thing that broke. That's it. Watch it draw. Plank by plank, the same unglamorous move, repeated, until built and found aren't two islands anymore. Nobody crosses on day one. That was never the point. The point is that the bridge exists, and it holds. Two honest cautions, because I'm not selling a hack. First, this is a real cost. Marketing takes real hours, hours that don't go into the product, and pretending otherwise is how the system dies in week 3. So budget it the way you budget engineering, on the schedule, part of shipping, not an afterthought squeezed out of the evenings. If the plan only works when you're motivated, it isn't a system yet. And second, a system is not a stage act. The moment sharing your work curdles into performing a founder character, hustle theater, inflated numbers, manufactured lessons, people can smell it, and the trust you were building burns off. The bridge only carries weight if it's made of real work. Share the work, skip the show. So here's the line to keep. Build the distribution muscle while it's small enough to learn. Right now the stakes are low, the reps are cheap, and every plank you lay compounds. Wait until you need marketing, and you'll be learning it in a panic, in public, with the bill already overdue. 4 moves, start to finish. The silence? Launch isn't the last step. Nobody rejects what nobody sees. The gap? Built and found are 2 islands, and nothing crosses on its own. The why? Early on, it lives only in your head, so the job can't be hired out yet. And the system? 1 channel, 1 cadence, real work shared. A bridge, not a stage. Put them together, and they're 1 tenet. And that's tenet 5. Marketing is the job you can't outsource. Yet. It sits right on top of the first 4. The leverage is real, the small niches are where it wins. Building your own is a real fork, and the number is yours to set. Because none of that pays out if nobody ever finds the work. Own the bridge while it's small, and yet eventually arrives on your terms. Next Friday, the healthiest version of this whole system. Building in public. Done right, not performed. Because there's a version that earns trust, and a version that just farms likes, and the difference between them is tenet 6.